but for an elf, she's probably actually pretty old. But she acts pretty young.
Okay.
Super old.
She acts pretty tough.
Okay.
She's from the streets. I don't know.
People in the streets.
That's a good
I'll
story.
defer. As far as impressions go and what you guys have picked up, I'll defer to Rachel and Dane, I guess.
I got the Dungeon Master's synopsis. There's a little bit of personality in there, which is I was curious.
She's fun. I like her.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been.
She's a wizard. She's Wizard Harry.
She's a wizard, Harry.
She's a wizard.
Fredrick.
But she's super sneaky, and she's actually probably more of a thief than Harm ever was.
Okay.
She's actually stolen from people.
Good point.
Newly's still around. The owl, familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People in the streets. Diddly-do day.
Dude, this magic item is bonkers, Abe.
Well, you know.
I'm really excited about it. I promise I won't abuse it.
That's all right. It's up to you. I craft the environment.
I will not.
Just get away ready to see some crazy shit. Wish to spell each day.
Nope. I
And you got teleport,
too.
too.
Shh.
I mean, you don't have anything. Just wish. I don't remember any of it.
Nothing to see here.
Really, they're all pretty reasonable spells, except for Wish and Teleport.
Wish is a little intense.
It's still a ridiculous magic item. I was telling Abe, for however long I've been running D&D, I can't think of like a single serious campaign I've ever run or played in that we actually cast Wish. Like, ever.
Oh, Chris is here. That means he can tell us what's the name of his castle.
I really like Resplendent Keep.
I do too.
Razzle Dazzle.
I mean, that's hilarious, but we have to live with it forever.
Right.
Exactly. I've already
Again,
had.
that's funny every time.
The dwarf has been inscribing Razzle Dazzle in front of the building the whole time, so.
None of the Gmail is not canon, man.
Gmail is amazing.
We were just workshopping it.
Best
Abe.
ever.
Also,
Yes.
I've been getting one of my class abilities wrong.
Oh.
So I have Arcane Ward. So every morning I get this magical ward when I cast my Mage Armor. I also get basically temporary hit points equal to twice my wizard level plus my intelligence modifier. I've only been running it as twice my wizard level, so actually should have like 13 temporary hit points at the start of every day.
So what you're telling me is you actually died during the dragon fight.
No, I'm actually
So you're
more okay.
dead.
More okay.
Most okay.
I'm super dead, so I do have 13. And they're not really temporary.
Dead, or
hits.
are you mostly dead? Mostly dead is still somewhat alive.
When the mutton is.
But what if they're all dead?
Actually,
dead. All you can do is there's only one thing you can do: go through his pockets and look for loose change.
Do you think it'll work? It'll take a miracle. Goodbye. Have fun storming the castle. The Razzle Dazzle Castle.
No.
Razzle
Razzle
dazzle.
Dazzle Castle.
No.
Come on, rolls off the tongue so easy.
Oh, so good.
I will wish away.
I also
that
like
castle.
Sunny Dungeon.
I don't know. The phosphorescent fort was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That made me feel things.
Well, anything that makes Swifteye feel something.
Oh,
Right?
amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what phosphorescence is.
Listen, we can use all the names. Just rotate them out.
Just the whole long length. All like
I kind of like
60
Fortress
words.
of Effulgence, just because I have no idea what effulgence means. Other than
Yeah,
the Thesaurus told me it's a word.
Wow.
We can always like have it listed on like a plaque by the door. All the names.
Amazing. All right. Well, welcome back. Let's see. When last we met our heroes, they had, after recently defeating a dragon and awakening within St. Cuthbert's hidden and forgotten chamber, several things all happen at once. You notice that Barrick now has a protective symbol on his chest that seems to hide and protect the symbol of Palor itself. Korak awoke to find the deed to the castle in his grips, and Calliope just woke up quite irritated. After some debate and talking with the new dwarf companion, they decided to head to Puss. So upon entering Puss, they were immediately kind of chauffeured by an awestruck guardsman who has seen Calliope play in other towns and was extremely enamored, but not enough to waylay him from his actual duties. So he took them to the castle where they met the Chancellor, who immediately recognized them as the individuals from the actual prophecy, and thus retelling the prophecy as she heard it once upon a time in the city of Caesar. She also offered some help and advice in finding one of the relics, and offered her aid in finding or using her hidden passage to the actual elven city of Ashvelin. Sorry. Good night, buddy.
Do we get the impression that, like, this is an underground passage that goes from, like, here all the way there, or?
Yes. It was once she told you it was built by the dwarves on her orders, and that she used it to visit her sister before she became corrupted years ago. And since then, she had kind of sealed it away, but offered it as a long-forgotten path that could get you there quicker and perhaps unnoticed.
But, like, underground for days.
Underground for not as long as traveling over the actual land, because she said that there were like mine carts that were used to transport her quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After some brief discussion, the party kind of started to separate, some of them going to different parts of the city. I believe Valaryn, Calliope, and perhaps others stopped at Blinky, the magic shop, which I totally forgot to describe when we were playing Blinky's last time.
It's cool. We're going to go there again.
But that is kind of where we start off. So I will briefly describe Blinky's, since that's kind of where we ended last session. So Chancellor directed you guys to a couple of shops that would be... oh yeah, let me pull Blinky up here. I freaking love Blinky. There we go. Freaking love her. So don't look at her eye. It's fine.
Why don't they call her Winky?
Nope, just Blinky. She blinks with one eye.
One blinky eye.
So you find, after following the directions from one of the guards that kind of said, "Hey, I'll lead you there," you kind of go down a couple of busy streets to find a very weird shop. It's painted extremely bright colors, and it stands among what would be best described as, a rustic wooden background. But this building is haphazardly put together and seems almost as if a light breeze would blow it down, but just seems to be awkwardly standing, and that's where you would meet Blinky. Her right eye seems to be predominantly closed the entire time, but her left eye seems to blink more often than most, maybe to make up for the fact that her right eye doesn't blink at all. And she offers you some items. Valaryn immediately kind of scarfed up a scroll that contained multiple scrolls, and then she offered you some other items, and that's kind of where we ended.
Oh boy, there's a lot of potions.
So hey, what can I get you? I see you Scarf of the Scroll, and that's a really great scroll. But anything else that you need? She kind
I'm
of
gonna roll a
stares.
fucking insight check on this
The coin?
woman.
Oh, and the woman. Okay. She
Yeah.
All
is-
good here.
She's staring at you oddly, but she seems to match the outside of her shop quite well, and she just blinks at you a lot. I can't help but notice you're looking at me. Is it because of my eye?
No, you were really serious about giving me that copper for change. Really.
Well, people just can't count change back anymore, and it's really frustrating. So, I mean, I appreciate you trying to round up, but a copper's a copper is a copper, so it's yours.
Okay. I'm gonna back off into the corner and start spending 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Valaryn hides in the shadows and starts waving her hands oddly.
Calliope's gonna mess around with the bard's magic string.
Oh yeah, it's a magical string, they say. I got in the game of chance really, but they say it's unbreakable. It can't break. But
She's
rumor
gonna
has
pull on
it.
it really hard.
You hear this bling, but it doesn't break.
I try with my teeth.
Make a dexterity save. Okay, good. Yeah, right as you start to realize this string is not going to break, but my teeth might, you let go very quickly, and there's this loud bling! And Blinky is staring at you really oddly. I mean, I said it's unbreaking.
Did you guys read the description of the Rock of Healing?
Yeah.
I see you saw the Rock of Healing. Really great rock there. You can heal your friends. I mean, it kind of hurts them in the process, but it's fine. You heal them.
By striking them with it.
I really want the Giffen, but it's so expensive.
How else would you heal them?
I mean, if we pool together resources, we might be able to buy it, but the Rock
know if
of
I
Healing,
trust
is that like
Blinky.
a one-time thing?
Yes, it is a one-time. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, what happens is when you call upon the Giffen, or some people call it a Griffin, but whatever. It comes to life. But then the statue kind of disappears. But you have it for like 6 hours, or until 5 days, or something. But yeah, it's a one-time use.
No, the Griffin's a multi-use thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It's a
Yeah,
multi-use.
every 5 days.
Well, I don't know. I just sell these items.
No, I meant the Rock of Healing. Is that a multi-use thing?
Oh yeah, it doesn't go away.
Blinky, may I try these strings? And Calliope will sort of hold up her lute.
Magic string.
I mean, are you gonna buy them? Because I mean,
Probably, but I
you don't
I'd
just
like
like try a potion of healing.
Well, that's because
I want to wave it around, see if it's magic.
healing would consume the potion of healing, but trying out these strings isn't going to hurt them.
I mean, okay, that's fine.
All right, Calliope's going to string up her lute, and then she's going to use it to cast Unearthly Chorus.
Okay.
So she can talk Blinky into selling them to her for a lot cheaper.
Nice. Roll it up.
Okay,
Or do I have to roll a DC?
So I make my performance check with advantage, and I get a +1. So first, I'll just make my performance check.
What
with
are you playing?
advantage. She's playing a dancey dance tune.
Razzle dazzle castle.
So I get 27 performance check.
Oh yeah, Blinky is staring at you. Her eye has immediately stopped blinking. Her hands are kind of on her chin, listening intently.
Yeah. And then she okay, and then she can make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, my map is in the way. I try to roll it in the castle.
Or I'm not gonna. No, I'm not actually gonna beguile her. I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna use a persuasion check to try to talk her down to a lower price.
Before you do that, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh shit! What's happening?
Oh, shit. So after you played the tune, you become really attached to these strings.
Oh shit!
To the point that you've always wanted to play music, but now you just want to play so much.
Oh no!
And when you're about to persuade her and kind of talk her down, you're like, "Sold. How much are these? Wait, hold on. You said they're slowly loading. You said 175. I'll give you 200 for it." And you slam down 200 gold pieces.
No!
And you have a feeling like if you don't play your instrument in enough time, it's almost like the strings will turn on you.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And you paid 200 gold pieces for the bard's magic
That's
strings.
great. That's great. I have them now, and I paid more than the asking price. Perfect.
Like, I mean, usually I'm all about change, but 200, I mean, you're really talented. I mean, that's totally fine. I mean, you rolled a 1.
I did roll a 1.
Do you guys want anything else?
Nope.
I mean, I
Someone should get the Rock of Healing.
Yeah, somebody should get the Rock of Healing for sure.
I will buy the Rock of Healing.
Yes. Okay. 1 rock of healing is out. That would be 25 gold pieces. I accept silver and copper pieces, but prefer gold.
What a bargain!
All right, here's your 25.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Will she take a money order?
She looks at you really strangely. Coin? Like, I take coin. If it's coin, I'll take it. Do you guys need any healing potions? I mean, she has some like crazy healing potions, but
I see that.
Supreme
They're not
healing.
that expensive, actually.
they really aren't when you stop and think about it.
In context, no.
It's a bargain.
Yeah, usually those are like
Tell 'em.
pretty good, pretty expensive. Generally, they go up exponentially. Those ones.
Are you sure she's not selling us like
I know, right?
secondhand magic stuff
I mean,
or
I know.
cheap foreign made?
No, so
I'm sorry. I run a respectable stand in a respectable part of town. I'm right by the river.
I just
In
a lot of this
character.
stuff seems too good to be true.
right in character, I will say that I did cast Identify on the one item I bought last week.
It was exactly as described.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
You know
And
what?
Identify cannot lie, unless the item is way more powerful than my Identify magic. But I mean, what are the odds that happen?
Does it identify curses and things like that?
It should.
Okay.
It should.
So I mean, I don't want to bother you all, but I mean, there's other people. There's
Are
no
there
one
actually
else.
other people?
No, there's no one else. I mean, there could be. It's a really good shop.
Has my 10 minutes gone up for my detect magic yet?
Yeah, I'll say it has. What were you detecting?
So detect magic, I just get to see any kind of magic in 30 feet of me.
Was there something you were specifically aiming to look at?
I mean, I know that the items she's selling are magic, but mostly I'm interested, is she magic? Is the coin that she gave me for change magic?
Gotcha.
Those are the two things that are unknowns for me.
How do I want you to roll that?
Arcana?
Yeah, do that. Because I need you. You've got to home in, because there's a ton of magical things in this shop.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
So you definitely can tell that all the items that she is selling is magic to varying degrees. And you can kind of see almost like a beacon in your mind as you're kind of sifting around. Like the bronze statue of the griffin seems to be illuminating the most. Your scroll also seems to be illuminating. The copper coin just seems to be a dull color. Blinky, along with the rest of your party that seems to be gifted with the magic arts, is kind of a pulsating, a nice aura of like tan or white color. So it's possible after kind of casting this, you realize that she either could be the one that makes this, or she has a background in actual magics themselves.
But she doesn't have like any spells on her currently, like
But
cast
no,
upon
nothing
her, like illusions or something.
Nope.
Is mostly what I'm curious about.
She's just blinky.
Okay. You know, like a witch.
Is
or a
that one
hag.
in the back okay? And she kind of points at you. I mean, is
No,
she
it's
gonna
cool.
be
I
sick?
totally trust you or whatever. Thanks for the magic item. Okay, bye.
Blinky kind of checks her pockets a little unknowingly.
Oh, by the way, are there like any like tchotchkes or like just little things lying around the shop, like keychains?
Make a perception.
Magnetic bottle openers,
Maybe. Yeah.
snow
Oh
globes.
man, I'm rolling
Nice.
so well tonight.
You see on your way out the door there is a ever light flashlight. It seems to be almost like a torch in a sense. And as you kind of like look at it quickly, it almost looks like no matter what, even without flint or steel, it will light.
Nice.
It's probably about 4 to 5 inches.
I'm going to look at an item close to that item for a little bit while they talk.
Okay.
Fredrick seems still bothered. He's been probably noticeable for anybody who looked at him. Pretty bothered by the Chancellor's conversation earlier, so he just walks out of
It's
the
been
shop.
awful quiet this past couple days.
Yeah,
Couple of weeks, really.
Weeks.
it's been on his mind, but the Chancellor seems to have really rattled him, so he's walking outside of the shop.
Make a perception check.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
Because you said you left the shop?
Yes.
While he's rolling
It's
that,
been a while. Perception check.
is anyone else buying anything else?
You guys gonna buy some potions while we're here?
Oh,
Probably
we
won't
probably
hurt
should.
for us to buy some.
Yeah, we should probably.
450 for a Supreme Hearing potion is pretty sweet.
Yeah, but it's probably cursed.
It might be.
Probably gives you.
I can identify it if that's what we're worried about.
Yeah, I mean, at that price, I mean...
Identifying doesn't cost anything.
While
At this
they're...
point, Calliope's just like in the corner, like playing with her eyes closed, whispering, "God, I'm good."
Yeah,
It's like
Wow.
to herself.
you're
Valaryn
really
rolls her
good.
eyes.
In fact, a lot of your party is kind of impressed, but they don't want to admit it.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
This
Valaryn's
string
impressed,
seems
but
to
she's
add a
never
new...
admitted.
almost like an echo to your playing. Like a reverb.
I'm so tired of everyone loving Calliope all the time.
It's all
Right.
about Calliope. Fredrick, you notice as you exit the shop, there is a hold up. Yeah, there is someone seems to make eye contact with you in the crowd, and after they
Kill
do,
him.
they kind of look at you for a moment, and you oddly enough kind of linger with eye contact because it kind of catches you off guard, almost like this person seems familiar to you. And after he makes eye contact with you, he comes kind of like, lumbering towards you through the crowd. It's going to take him a moment, but he's coming towards you.
I'm so rattled by the Chancellor still that I'm gonna walk towards him too, as if I'm seeking something myself.
Excellent. Yeah, he's gonna come up to you and go, Fredrick? Oh my gosh, are you Fredrick?
Oh, wow.
Like
It's famous.
the Fredrick.
Frederick's Frederick anticipating more information says, "Yes, I am. How can I help you?"
I mean, I've seen your champion. I mean, you've taught him everything you know, and it's a pleasure. And he puts out his hand to like shake yours.
Hesitantly, Frederick will shake his hand.
Oh my goodness! And he like grabs it with two hands and he's shaking vigorously. Oh man, you are the bomb in the ring. I mean, it's been a long time since you've like fought yourself, but I mean, your fighters So, like, are you entering today? Because there's apparently this fight down. It's by like the riverfront. I don't really know. But long story short, so I'm kind of in charge of it. I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I kind of am, because like I collect the money and I try to get fighters, and the champion's apparently fighting today, but the dude he's fighting kind of backed out. But I don't know. I'm just looking around for people, and I saw you, and oh man, it made my day.
So Fredrick, just kind of expressing almost that this is the answer to a question he's seeking, just says yes, and he goes, "Show me the way."
Oh man, my friends are gonna freak out. And he will lead you off down the street.
Oh shit! Do any of us notice this?
Um,
I think I saw him leaving.
Fredrick walking away with a stranger.
Oh, you're gonna get murdered in alley.
I mean,
we saw him leave the shop, but that matter.
Valaryn's
in
paying
that
attention to
windowless
other things
van.
currently, but
I mean, I would say anyone that isn't currently perusing, you can try to make a perception to see if you notice he's leaving with a stranger. This guy was not quiet either. So Swifteye, you definitely have the upper hand on.
The advantage.
One would call it an advantage.
Where are my rolls? There we go.
where are my rolls? Swift, I don't need advantage.
She don't know shit. Yeah. So Barrick,
What's
you
happening?
you saw Fredrick leave the shop. And,
Okay.
You know,
I will follow him, just kind of concerned with how distracted he is, intending to ask him what's the matter, but then observe the interaction that happened.
So, Swifteye, you sense and could definitely hear this, best described as a crazed fan, kind of come up to Fredrick and very excited. And you can, kind of smell and sense that Barrick is also kind of left. And if you wanted, you could easily follow the pair at this point.
I will, but I'm gonna follow behind, sneaky, not like just very quietly.
Excellent. Roll a stealth check.
I'm not like actively trying to hide, but I have very soft feet.
She conditions them.
Are you still wearing the boots, or did you get rid of them?
I have the boots.
The
They
boots.
should be on.
Are you wearing the jumping boots or the stealthy boots?
Oh.
All right,
Forgot
so
Wait,
Two
wait,
types
wait,
of
wait,
boots.
So many shoes.
You gotta accessorize for the
No,
day,
I
right?
think
I
I
think you put
am
on the
wearing
jumping
the
boots.
boots of striding.
Okay.
I'm wearing my moon shoes.
You still do it pretty quietly. A couple of people in the street kind of notice you almost kind of walking through the shadows. Not to mention you're a blind person, you kind of draw some eyes. But other than that, I know.
Ow.
Ouch. Other than that, the people that you're kind of following don't seem to notice. He is leading you this way. Let me mute that. Okay.
I'm gonna follow Barrick.
Excellent. So we've got
Damn it.
Calliope and Valaryn are staying together.
I'm guessing Calliope's not gonna buy something and distract the shopkeeper, huh?
Calliope is very distracted.
Fine, it's fine.
I mean, you could always just buy that sweet flashlight, but I mean, it's cool.
Be cool.
So, as you walk through the streets, this guy introduces himself as just, his name is Joe. And Joe has been kind of elected here. There's been a small ring kind of erected between a couple of the houses near the end, and they've been slowly over the last couple of years building a kind of a champion following. Tonight, the main champion of Pus is fighting, and they're paying out a 5-to-1 purse on anyone that can actually best them. And he lets you know that the person actually backed out, and they'd love to find a new fighter. And that he tells you that the fight itself is no weapons, no magic, no armor, and the first to fall loses.
Fredrick's gonna ask him to point out the champion.
Well, I mean, he's they're in the ring
Not there
right
yet?
now.
Oh, the champion's in the ring? Okay, what does the champion look like then? Just what do I see?
I have to pull it up. So their name is Davros, and I mean, like, they're real strong. They got a sweet upper hook, and they're a half elf. I mean, they're pretty tall, but they seem to just like knock people out. Like, it's really impressive watching them fight.
All right, so who has next? When am I up? When can I challenge him? Can I
mean,
start to take off my armor?
Like no one wants to fight this dude at this point. Like, the other guy apparently is sick. I don't buy that. But I mean, we're paying 5-1. Who else is going to do this?
Fredrick keeps taking off his armor. He's like, I'm going to.
Oh man. Okay. So, I'm going to give you directions because I'm going to run ahead and tell them we got a fighter, and that's really awesome. So, I mean, you could bet on yourself, I guess. I mean, that's not really weird, I guess. But it's 5-1 odds. And then he kind of quickly tells you, and he kind of points to the couple of houses and like how to get in there. And then he just bolts ahead. And basically, from your directions, you definitely can tell it's in here. And as you slowly make your way, at this point, you've kind of been walking down the streets, taking off your armor and kind of, satcheling it behind.
As I see him doing this, I'm just going to shout, Fredrick! Friend, wait!
He turns back to Barrick and just kind of stares at Barrick for a second. Pauses.
Is everything okay? Where are you headed, friend?
Because the words of the Chancellor have me rattled. There's something I have to find out.
You mean the prophecy? What she spoke?
Yes, the prophecy. Why did she hesitate, Barrick?
I was going to ask you that myself. I didn't want to seem invasive. What has you so concerned, friend?
Just she only hesitated with me, Barrick. Like, am I the one? Am I the one that's supposed to help you? Or is there someone different? I just feel lost.
I do not believe that you're with us by chance. I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and say,
nice.
Never put your hand on Harm's shoulder.
Wah, wah.
The Sun Father chose you to travel with us. I'm glad you're here, and I'm sure the rest are too.
Is Joe still within earshot, Abe?
Judging by his directions, he has. You're basically about like a building to two away by the time he runs off to try to tell them they have a contender.
So could he hear me if I yelled at him, or no?
I mean, you can attempt to, but he's pretty far away by this point.
All right.
I mean, but yeah, you have like you have a gladiator ring just bark to you. I bet you can get your voice out
Right.
there.
Let me try to yell at Joe and see if I can get his attention.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm yelling Joe as loud as I can with like my promoter voice.
Make a performance check with advantage. With advantage.
Busting out the promoter voice.
What do I
Sunday,
do for
Sunday,
advantage?
Sunday. Click the advantage on the bottom left corner,
Right under the
There
chat
we go, I
box.
got it.
or just roll it twice.
So, performance, you said?
Yep. Oh no!
Oh, so bad.
Shit.
So after your conversation with the Chancellor, you just seem to be slightly rattled, and it comes off. Which, surprisingly enough, the crowd kind of settles down just to try to look where this odd noise came from, and you see this man kind of poking above the crowd, like awkwardly, and he catches your eye movement and comes back.
So I'm going to look back at Barrick and be, friend, are you willing to escort me to the ring? There's something I have to prove to myself.
The ring? What are you talking about?
I believe we've talked about my time in the fighting arena.
Yes, I know of your background. You're saying there's a fighting pit here.
There
In
is.
us.
The prophecy spoke of someone who maybe resonates with the arena, and I just need to know if that's still me.
Very well, friend. I am with you. Lead the way.
Thank you. So I'm gonna kind of head in the general direction of Joe.
I'll follow him. Do we notice Korak? Is Korak following sneakily?
No, I'm not sneaking
No,
around.
okay, he's right behind us.
Yeah, by this point, since you guys stopped, he just kind of comes up behind you all.
All right. I'm gonna turn to Korak and say, "Shall we?"
I'll be there.
All right.
This Valaryn like rolls her eyes at Calliope because they've been in there for like 15 minutes. She's like, God, you're so boring.
I mean, yeah.
Wait,
I mean,
what? Oh,
Are
where'd
you guys
everybody
like
go?
doing anything else in my shop? Because there's other people that want to buy things. And
Oh,
Is
sorry.
she
Yeah.
crying out of her one eye?
I don't-
I'm playing at the flower place tonight. You should tell your friends.
the Mellow Dandelion?
Yep, that's the one. Tell your friends. Calliope's in town, and I've got these awesome new strings.
Just think, Calliope, if you bought your own tavern, you could name it whatever you want.
Ah, that's right. We should put a tavern in the keep.
That's how you're gonna pay for upkeep.
That's right.
I mean, we'll see. Okay, bye. And she
Tell
just
your
starts
friends.
packing up everything that was on the counter.
She plays a sweet riff on her lute as she walks out. And also,
Valaryn has no idea where anyone's gone, and she's really,
Nice.
really ticked that she had plans for things to do today with not Calliope.
So I do have to backtrack ever so slightly because I realized that you guys were actually at Elmer's. So I want to just make sure that no one else wants to get anything from Elmer's before we move on. Elmer's a very stoic gentleman, and he has a very stone face, but he seems to really love his weapons that he's built. But he offers you those, except for the Muramasa and the Masamune. Those have been purchased very quickly by Swifteye.
Knuckles, yeah. I bet that crossbow is actually I bet there's more to that crossbow than meets the eye.
yeah, I
got a
picked it
special
up,
name.
and then it was hard for me to put it down.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Like I
it's
had to roll something, but I rolled really high, and I put it
that's
down.
2 possibly cursed items you've picked up.
Yep.
Neat.
Cool.
I mean, it's a big town.
It might be intelligent.
So, as you guys are looking over that, you guys have made it to the ring itself. Fredrick, the individuals that seem to be kind of in charge of it, Joe is kind of whispering to one of them, and the other one seems to kind of lighten up. And you hear him in an announcer voice go, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fight this evening. Place your bets. Place your bets." And then the area kind of grows very loud as they begin to talk. Joe comes over and goes, "Well, it's all set up. Anytime you want to go in there and hit that guy, we're ready."
All right, give me just a few moments here. Hey, Joe, is this a fight to the death, or has anyone ever died in the arena here?
I mean, people die. That's just a thing of life. But not usually. We don't fight till the death. But
Give me a general sense of the rules here, buddy.
Okay, so you get 2 hits each round.
You hitting him and hitting the floor.
2 hits. 2 hits. No magic. You get disqualified. I don't want to see you disqualified. I talked really highly of you. And see. So you get 2 hits, and then whoever passes out first, well, they're clearly the loser because they ain't standing no more. But other than that, it's pretty simple. Just punch him in the face. Other than that, there ain't no rules. So biting, kicking, whatever you want.
All right, I'm gonna finish taking off my armor.
I mean,
And
we had a room for that, but that's cool. You came prepared.
I didn't know there was a green room. I'm gonna ask Barrick politely if he's willing to hold on to that for a second.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna say, kind of Barrick, just kind of hesitantly, like Barrick, if I prove to not be the person in the prophecy, seek out my friend Murren. There's something about Murren that seems to resonate with these words.
Murren. I will do this, but I'm sure everything will be fine.
I hope you're right, friend.
Oh, Abe, don't kill our cleric.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put. There's kind of Fredrick's gonna take out a bucket, and he's gonna pour his holy water flask in there. Gonna kind of wash his hands in that a little bit, slick back his hair, make it real greasy and slick, and then he's gonna grab a couple clumps of dirt and kind of LeBron James them into the air to kind of get himself prepared. Kind of pat the rest of it on his kind of a leathery old man skin, now revealed after he's taken his armor off, and kind of do a couple fake punches. And he looks like he's ready, so he's gonna kind of give Joe a nod.
This is gonna be sweet. I mean,
I need to take my armor off.
Yeah, you gotta take it off. Your AC will be 10 plus your dex.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, it might just be a 10. It's fine. Joe's gonna kind of look at you and go, "Well, if you're ready, we can kind of get this show on the road. But I mean, they're paying out 5 to 1. If y'all want to bet, I can sneak some in there. I kind of, it's kind of what I do." And you guys notice he kind of has a big change purse to his right, where he can clearly pay out.
Barrett's gonna just wave his hand over and say, "No, thank you," and I'm gonna walk over and sit in the stands.
I mean,
Yeah, this isn't about money.
I totally would have bet.
I mean,
He's good.
Corey, he's gonna look at you. Corey's gonna look at you and be like, "I mean, I'm gonna bet on this guy. I saw him fight years ago."
Cork will bet 100 gold on Fredrick.
All right, so we got what was your name? Korsleck? All right, Korsleck. 100 gold.
Yep, of course.
All right, 5 to 1. 5 to 1 odds. That's not bad. All right, now I'm gonna go tell the guy, and he leads you down kind of some steps, and there's big steel bars at the end of a long corridor that are slightly coming out, and you can kind of see light at the end of this tunnel. They lead you out, and Joe's like, "Well, good luck, man. I mean, you're still young." And then the bars slam down behind you, and you find yourself in an arena. Where's my fighter at?
Here.
Get him, Fredrick. Get him.
My other fighter. Where's he at? Where you at? There we go. Champion of Plus.
I mean, he's probably not that badass, right?
There we go.
So
Oh
good.
God, excuse me.
The pit.
So the announcer starts. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion arena of Port Union of Cinderin is proud to present. And you hear him go, "What the hell was this guy's name again? The champion versus our wonderful champion of Pus." And the crowd kind of goes wild. As all of you know, it's a fight to the first one to pass out. When you're ready, champions. And then the fighter across from you kind of goes into a steady urge. And then, Fredrick, I'm going to have you roll your initiative.
Okay.
I'm so nervous.
While that's going on,
It'll be fine.
what are Calliope and Valaryn doing? Oh, yeah, now that's an initiative.
Damn, man.
Fredrick still got it.
Paint a scene for us, DM. What happens when we leave the store?
Okay, so as you we're gonna figure out where Blinky is.
Everyone left without our knowledge.
So as you leave the store, you realize your party is nowhere to be seen.
Shit.
But in front of you, because you are, oh shit, I'm moving.
Nice, Chris.
There. So as you leave the store, you're roughly there on the map. To your basically right in front of you. I was going to say to your left, but that's how I'm looking at it on the map. Her shop, by the way, is this very angular, weird shop. But straight in front of you here seems to be a very tall building that seems to reminisce a library on the outside. There's very tall columns covered in ivy and other things. Down this way you can see the river into the marketplace Down this way seems to be more crafting, and that's actually where you would come from to see Elmer, which I should probably link back on the map.
Come here.
Oh, that wasn't Elmer. Elmer's got all confused. Elmer, what are you doing here? Elmer, you don't belong there. Sorry, Elmer was over here. And you can hear the ringing of steel that direction.
Clang, clang.
Well, there's no way that my friends are already right. They know how to compose themselves in public, and of course, they wouldn't be getting themselves into any kind of altercation so soon after entering a town. So there's no way that that is them.
I'm gonna use the sending stone.
You're super smart.
Who else?
Admit that to your face.
Who else has them?
I have one.
I do.
All right. I'm not going to talk to you because you're right
Doesn't
next
matter.
to
They're
me.
three-way.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's gonna be amazing.
Calliope's going to say, "Hey, where'd you guys go? You should check out my sweet new strings."
You see Valaryn kind of curse to herself because she didn't think of that first.
Fredrick had something to prove. Apparently, there was a pit fighting group here.
God
And
damn it.
we came to support him.
Oh,
We're north of the temple.
sweet. We'll be there in a minute, and we can get everybody to come watch me play tonight.
Okay.
We'll head
No,
towards
you
the
should
pit.
send just K. Period.
Okay.
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 Wait. Do you want to try something risky?
What?
Just say yes. Shh.
Maybe.
She pulls out a scroll from this case.
What do you
And then
have
she
in
looks at it
mind?
for a second and she's like, no, Valaryn, you're not ready. You're not skilled enough. And she puts it back.
Okay, you want to go watch the fight?
God, yes, that's what I was saying.
Oh.
Shut up.
Okay. And they'll head off to the pit.
It would probably take you a good amount of time, but you can start moving that away.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
We'll go
Fredrick,
fast.
you are up. You get 2 attacks each round, and other than no magic, armor, or weapons, it's no holds bar, anything that you can come up with.
Is there anything else that I can see?
You are in probably a 10-foot deep, bricked off pit, if you will. On the other side is the actual, you would imagine so to be the champion, and then yourself. Other than it's a kind of a dirt, sandy ground itself, the pit seems to be very equipped with any other weapons.
All right, and then what's my opponent look like?
He is a half elf. Even though he's rather tall and slender, because he is in fact a half elf, he's pretty muscular. He's got some scarring, and currently he is not wearing a shirt, and he's kind of hunched a little bit, breathing a little heavily, and just kind of glaring at you in a fighter's pose.
All right, I'm going running straight in. I'm going with my elbow out.
Yes.
And I'm trying to go straight for the back of his neck, so kind of circle around and get it, because it looks like he maybe has some back problems or something. So I'm trying to get somewhere into the spine area with a good elbow.
All right.
To the spine.
Roll your attack.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Hold on. Yeah, that hit.
All right.
So are you just trying to grapple him as well?
Oh no, I'm trying to take out his back of his
his
neck
spine.
with the spine area.
Nice. So as you kind of run around him and you kind of clothesline around his back, you kind of pull him down slightly, and you hear a very gruff like, "Ugh!" You do some nice damage to him, and then you've kind of got him hooked right now around your elbow. You can make another attack.
Yeah, I'm going for the knee to the jaw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna hit.
Yeah. Got him.
Nice. So you swing around him, and in one fluid swipe, and the three of you, even Swifteye, kind of moves closer, sensing and hearing the crushing and the sounds of connection. You pull him quickly down into your knee, and kind of drive your knee right into his nose. There's a quick of blood that sprays out. And you kind of
follow that up with the Ric Flair woo.
Nice. Do you want to move anymore? You're probably like here-ish.
If I have enough momentum when I knee him to kind of put him against the wall instead of me, then that's what I would want to do.
So you want to
reposition myself with when I.
So you want to kind of throw him out?
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to be shift my position with his, so kind of knee him towards the wall if possible.
Roll a strength check. So as you're trying to pull him and kind of reposition yourself, he's really sweaty. And as you try to like grapple him and kind of move his body around, he just wiggles free, and he kind of spins around and he spits to the ground, and he is ready to attack. Is that kind of where you ended up?
I'm going to say so, based on my poor strength roll, yeah.
Also, so you did 4 and 3, so you did 7 points of damage. You weren't actually connected to him, so let me fix that. There we go. You wounded him. Perfect. So on his turn, he just finishes spitting on the floor, and he kind of puts his arms in the air, kind of making the crowd go wild. And as he's looking around, he just stomp kicks your knee. And I don't actually have this one prepared, so we're going to go with it. Oh, yeah. It connects with your right kneecap, and he does 3 points of damage as he kind of kicks you down a little bit. You're still standing. It more or less just kind of jabbed your knee sideways slightly. Definitely going to hurt in the morning. And as you're kind of railing from that sharp pain, he is going to try to left hook you in the face. Oh, yeah.
Watch the left hook.
So he jabs you in the right leg, and then he swipes across with his left hand, and he connects with a deafening smack. And as he does so, you kind of get slightly moved. Not enough to jostle you too much, but it's definitely bringing it back. And that's his turn. Valaryn's. There you go. Fredrick's up.
All right, I'm going to bob and weave a little bit. I'm going to go in with the left body hook, followed with a huge uppercut that I'm kind of winding up.
Yeah.
So there's the left hook.
Tiger.
Okay. And then here's the... Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Must be dazed. No.
So you're kind of getting back into the strive, and you're kind of dusting out the cobwebs. And as you're doing so, you're just kind of almost dancing with him in the ring. It looks really good. People are kind of ooh ah in the crowd, but he dodges quickly out of the way.
Not good at all.
I will say you guys are almost at the ring by this point.
Yes, I can meddle.
No meddling. He'll lose.
He'll lose.
I don't know that.
Forfeit.
So the champion, seeing you kind of duck and weave, he kind of watches your movements a little bit, and then he is going to go with his left hook again, connecting, and then he's going to follow it up with an uppercut, connecting as well. So he's going to do another 6 points of damage with a whoo, koosh. He connects with you and he laughs. One past Fredrick. We're just going to go around. There we go.
All right. I'm going to kind of fall to the ground a little bit, and I'm going to grab a handful of dirt.
Nice.
And I'm going to both hands, and I'm going to do
sanded
right to the face, and hope that I get some sand in the eye as well.
Roll an attack with advantage.
Attack with advantage? Okay.
Yeah, to see if you actually throw in his face.
You want me to roll both of them, or just the one?
No, you're good. Yeah, so you go down to the ground and you grab 2 handfuls of dust. Yep. And he's kind of gloating at this moment, and he's throwing his hands in the air, and then and he is hurting bad. His both of his eyes immediately go to his face, and he's oh you bastard. And he currently has disadvantage on his attacks, and you advantage on attacks currently.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So do I roll my attack damage or?
For that one counts as one attack. You still have another one.
Okay. With advantage then?
This one with advantage, yeah.
Ooh.
Boom.
Oh yeah. So coming back up, you kind of throw the dust in his eyes. He's immediately, reeling in pain, and with that, you take both of your hands and make one giant fist and just smash it right into his face. There's a deafening crack, and he is knocked prone currently.
Okay.
Oh shit, that old guy's badass. Says
Valorant.
Valaryn.
Does he have a turn then, or is it on me?
That was your turn. You did 2 attacks. One was to blind him slightly, and speaking of which, we'll just put prone on. At that point, the two of you have entered the ring, being kind of
Fredrick
ushered
is
in.
also prone.
Did I throw that on him?
You did.
Why are you prone?
Both prone.
I got your back, Fredrick.
Everyone's prone. There we go.
All right.
So Valaryn, you enter from behind, and Calliope too from behind. You
I
can definitely.
immediately
There's
walk
some
away from
loud
Calliope.
loud shouting.
So I immediately walk away from Calliope.
And you can see your friend as you get closer to the side of the ring. You can kind of see your friend down in. Anything you want to do in the meantime?
Can I try to? So I've been around. I've been to a bunch of these gladiator type fights. I know how the quote other side of the track lives. I want to try to. After he just got cracked, that dude. I want to rile up the crowd to help out Fredrick. And I'm not going to be very good at it, so probably Calliope's actually going to succeed at this.
Yes. All right. Make a.
That's what I'm going to try to do. I want to say, Fredrick. No, actually, she's going to start cheering, old guy, old guy, old guy.
All right, Calliope
Here
will
go, old
Calliope
guy,
will get
here
in
go.
on this, and she'll get the crowd riled up.
Stomp, clap.
I will.
Stomp,
I will say,
clap.
Valaryn,
Stomp, clap.
you make the performance check with advantage
Sure,
because you started it. Calliope is going to join in.
sure.
I'm assisting. Yeah.
Oh, man, I should not have started this.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
All right. So, how are you assisting?
She's going to... Oh, yeah, sorry.
She's gonna like be the hype girl, and she'll be like, "Yeah, what she said. Yeah, look at him. Oh, did you see that swing? Oh, he barely. Oh, she's just
Body
gonna-
of a boy, make a big noise playing on the street.
That's what Barrick's doing.
A big mess someday, got blood on your face.
And Calliope's gonna get her foot drum and her knee tambourine and like poof, 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 do like booms and crashes to accent the fight.
About like this half of the ring starts kind of yeah, and they're kind of stomping their feet a little bit. The other half, they don't seem to catch on as quickly. You feel if you keep playing loud enough, it might.
Yeah.
Maybe if you take over next round.
Yeah, maybe that might help.
Well, Frederick's noticing. He just points one finger, just points it at all his friends, and just kind of shakes his one finger like "thank you."
The champion of Pus is going to spit on the ground.
Let it be known the crowd is cheering old guy on this side of the...
Old guy. The champion of Pus is trying to like quiet them slightly, and the other half of the stand seems to just not understand. But the other side, there's this magical song that's playing. There's some stomping, there's some clapping, and it seems to be growing. And with disadvantage, he's going to try to attack. Oh,
That's gonna miss.
so he takes a left punch and a right punch. And Fredrick, you're starting to remember how the ring felt in your youth, and you very
duck
quickly kind of
and then
dodge
weave.
aside. Yeah, there's some ducking, there's some weaving, and now the crowd is starting to kind of pick up on old guy. Oh God! And Fredrick, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna try to do a leg sweep, like a
Oh.
real agile leg sweep, and just try to
Sweep
take
the
him and
leg.
put him on the ground again.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
All right,
Sweep the
you still have
leg.
advantage. He doesn't see it coming.
So a little faster than I look.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. In a very dexterous kind of like slide kick, you very quickly kind of, and his knees take out from underneath him, and he falls prone to the ground. You now have well, you had advantage to begin with, but he's now currently prone.
Ha
There's
ha!
no damage for that one.
Well done, Fredrick.
All right, and then I'm gonna try to basically. Are any of the bricks kind of
Did you
protruding
kick something?
a little bit that I can stand on them?
You can make a perception check. We'll give you advantage because you've got kind of a moment. He's very kind of sluggish at the moment.
Perception.
Having a moment.
I was not expecting this old guy to throw dust in his face.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can kind of see in the corner, the bricks aren't smooth. They're kind of jutting out. You definitely can see some footholds.
All right, so I'm gonna quickly jump on.
I was going to get up on the ropes.
People's
I'm
elbow.
gonna go ahead and try a giant elbow onto
Hey, that belongs to the people.
Yeah, you have advantage.
All right.
And then
Make sure you slap it twice.
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, shit.
For damage,
People's elbow to the
for
face.
damage, you're gonna roll a d10.
Oh shit!
Okay.
You're kind of a heavier
You got momentum.
guy.
You got momentum behind
You're
you.
slapping that elbow.
It's the people's elbow. We gave you that.
Fredrick knows how to do it.
Oh yeah, and then you're gonna add 2 to that, so you're doing 9 damage. Oh, there is a silent moment while you're in midair. The crowd starts to deafen. Even Calliope kind of stops playing as they see this older gentleman, clearly aged, maybe not as graceful as he'd like to admit, flying through the air and landing with an elbow to this guy's back. There is this deafening.
Barrick's gonna shout, "Ha! Did you see that?"
Nice.
And the rest of the crowd kind of erupts, and the champion is not looking good.
Calliope's gonna start shouting things in the crowd, but like in different voices, like they're different people shouting. You're like, "Oh, that's Fredrick! I heard he killed a dragon." "Boy, yeah, I heard that he set a bunch of ghosts on fire in Gwyn." Be like, "Oh yeah, well I heard that he's a sex pervert, but the hot kind, not the gross creepy kind."
Wow, amazing.
Long story.
Long story. No, yeah. All right, so the champion is gonna try to get up. He is. There is some dust in his eye, and as he's getting up, he's kind of wiping the rest of the dust out of his eye, and he looks pissed. He's got one eye that's kind of swollen shut at this point, but the left eye seems to be kind of digging into you, and you definitely can tell he now can see you clearly.
And blinking, no doubt.
And he's as he's slowly getting up, he's going to try to uppercut you. Oh yeah.
Tiger.
And there's this, not as loud as he had hoped, like nice slapping noise, and you're kind of just standing there. You move a little bit. There's a slight chuckle, and the champion looks really pissed now, and he's going to try to right hook you. Oh, and he just hits. Connecting with your right, just kind of skimming off your right cheek. That is the champion's turn. Fredrick, you are up.
Can I have held my action until Fredrick's turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to cast Prestidigitation upon Fredrick's next hit. That's my held action.
Okay.
Or
All
Barrier
right.
Illusion, one of the two.
All right. My first attack. I'm gonna try to just kick him in the stomach
All right.
for a setup move. I don't have advantage anymore, right?
You do not have advantage. I don't remember what it is. Oh, that just missed. So as you come up, he just and he gets out of the way quick enough, just to dodge out of the way.
All right. Is he off balance at all?
He's not looking good. As you kind of do that, he kind of staggers to his one side. I'm going to say the next attack you have advantage on.
I'm gonna try to pick him up.
Yes.
I don't know if that's what you want me to roll or not.
So you definitely grab him. Make a strength check. He's a half elf with advantage. Okay, yeah. So you kind of reach around, and there's this moment where you're thinking, I'm too old for this shit. And you kind of pick him up, and you've got him airborne. You don't know how long you can hold him, but you're holding him there at the moment.
Well, I'm trying to just body slam him. So, you want me to reroll my attack roll?
No, I'll say that it's a hit at this point. Yeah.
Nice.
So how do you want to do this?
There's a thunderclap from above as prestidigitation goes off.
Prestidigitation a little bit too. So I'm just gonna kind of spin him around a couple times and just take him and just like face down, body slam him, and then pancake him into the ground, and then whatever Andy wants to add on is an effect.
just a thunderclap.
Yeah. There's
a
this
thunderclap noise.
Loud thunderclap, and the entire crowd goes extremely quiet. And then there's this uproar of clapping and cheering, and people going, "Did you see that? I heard he killed a dragon. Something about sex. I don't know." And they're just screaming really loud. And you see Joe kind of jumping over the crowd, going, "I know that guy. I saw him fight." And then he starts paying out people. And you see him quickly come over to you, Korak, and he goes, click him. Well, here's 500 gold. And he pays you 500 gold, and then he's off amongst the crowd. There is someone comes out of this portal and just slowly drags the champion away. He's not dead. He's definitely unconscious. He is gonna feel rough in the morning. And Fredrick, even though like your knees definitely ache and you've got some joint pain, you're feeling really good. Probably the best you've felt in a long time. As the crowd kind of slowly dissipates.
How far down is the pit?
Judging, it's probably 8 to 10 feet.
Oh, okay. Calliope is going to leap up in the air, and she is going to drift gracefully down
nice.
to the pit next to Fredrick while her cloak billows. And she's gonna play a sweet riff on her lute with her new strings, and then she's gonna shout loudly to the crowd, "Come to the Mellow Dandelion tonight and buy Fredrick a drink," and she'll hold his fist up in the air, "and hear songs of his grand adventures," and she'll shake her tambourine and play her lute.
Valaryn mutters to herself, "God, Calliope, it's not all about you." And
Yeah,
she's
it
going
is.
to look at who won bets. Fuck.
Too bad you're so distracted by my awesomeness.
Yep.
Yeah, she's just like real bitter about that.
You were definitely caught off guard by the fact that you see Calliope like take a running leap and then pull out her guitar. I think it was a guitar.
She's even more bitter at the moment.
And then, oddly enough, she starts to just drift down where you think she would land with a solid smash to the ground. She just slowly drifts, her cape bellowing, and then you kind of mumble to yourself and you look to your right and there's this, portly gentleman who's counting about 10 gold in his hand very loudly going, "I fucking
Oh, you call it portly."
And that's what you see.
I'm going to pick as many pockets as I can.
Pick.
Make a stealth followed by a sleight of hand.
Stealth and sleight of hand?
Yep.
I'm doing a secret because I don't know. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Did you just pick Korak's pocket? Is that what just happened?
I don't know.
You just slapped your hand. Stop.
The portly gentleman goes,
Stop.
I can't help but notice, miss, that your hand be in my pocket.
This is awkward.
She's gonna give him the eyebrows a little bit and be like,
People's eyebrow?
"People don't usually complain,"
I gave him
and then
people's
she
eyebrow.
just walks away.
Good one.
He's going to look to his friend and go, did that just happen?
I wasn't complaining.
and you nothing. You did not successfully do anything other than maybe make this gentleman's day. They escort Fredrick. They escort you out of the ring, going this way. And they Joe insists on paying you a small purse if you would like to accept it.
I'm gonna meet him outside with his armor.
Yeah, I guess I'll take it just because it's customary. I'm used to the ring.
Well, I mean, of course you got to take it. It's part of the purse. I mean, you won the damn battle, and he kind of slaps it in. And he hands you. It looks upon closer inspection would be about 200 gold pieces.
Okay.
That's peanuts.
Peanuts. It's a small ring.
Not much. Yeah, not much.
Correct. Made 500.
He did.
That's right.
Uh,
Cork will head down with
I'm gonna
Barrick.
sneak out with Barrick so I can get my stuff back.
all right. So you guys are meeting outside the ring.
Yep. I'll give him his stuff back.
Mm-mm.
Are your worries relieved, friend? That was quite a fight.
It did feel good to get back in the arena, and I do feel more myself than I have for quite some time.
Yeah, you did pretty awesome, gold guy.
Gold guy. How do you move like that?
Years of training, and make sure you eat your vegetables.
There's a kid standing right beside you, going, "Oh my god!"
Did you hear that,
he
Mom?
just runs off.
Did you hear that, Mom? My mother was vegetables.
Valaryn comes up to Fredrick and she kind of like gives him a playful grin and kind of like ducks and weaves a little bit and jabs at his ribs. She's scrawny as hell, but she just gives him a grin.
Fredrick just grins back.
I'm gonna. How hurt are you? How many? If this was a D20 role playing game, how many hit points would you be missing?
Halfway through my health.
Halfway dead.
So I think I have 20 hands to lay on you. Is that enough?
That would be more than enough. Yeah.
Okay.
You can
How
just-
many hands do you need?
Man, you never laid hands on harm.
Oh,
Look at all
Can
those
oil him
hands.
up next
Look at some
time.
hands. Ooh, you want some more?
Mm.
All those laces.
Varric is
Four,
currently
five,
slapping
6,
you gently
7,
on the butt.
8.
Good game.
Do you need more?
Good game.
Do you need more
Good
than that?
game.
Huh? You need 8 and 9.
Is that 1 HP?
Yeah, it's right.
11. I can keep going.
Currently E Honda.
16. He needed 16 slaps on the butt.
There you go.
Uh,
Why did I run out of uses? I have 20 in here.
after seeing you slap Fredrick multiple times on the arse, Joe is going to be like, well, if you ever want to fight again, just let me know. I'm going to walk away. This is awkward. And he just walks away. You guys are now standing here-ish.
Don't worry, Pillar's got your ass.
Hey guys, it's all been fun, but let's huddle up real quick. I got something serious to talk about. She puts all her serious eyes. And
Perhaps
she's-
we.
does she have like real removable eyes,
Yep,
like Mr. Potato Head?
yep. Oh, also.
Perhaps we should head somewhere where we can sit.
I mean, if you're old and frail, sure, I guess. Are you tired
like
of
to buy-
standing? Okay.
I'd like to buy the champion a drink, and I'm gonna just kind of
Oh, right. He is old.
punch him playfully on the shoulder.
Abe, what time is it?
Well, it was noon when this all started. Swifteye, what time are you thinking? About 4 o'clock?
No.
Time is it?
Oh, it's
Please
most
tell me.
definitely
1 p.m.
no 3:35. You
Damn
can tell
it.
because of the position.
3:35.
Come on,
3:35 is
Swifteye,
the
you're
position
killing
of
me.
the sun. Actually, are we inside or outside?
You're currently outside.
I'm gonna put my hand out and look at the sky and say 3:35.
Let's head to the Mellow Dandelion, and I'll get us some dinner. We can sit and relax a bit before tonight's party starts.
I actually have important things I need to do.
To the
today.
end!
Oh my god.
Like, all right, well, what do you need to do?
I have to go to the library. Shut up.
Oh,
People go
okay.
to the library. Cool people go to the library sometimes.
Okay.
Shut up.
Well, go
Name
to the
one cool
library
person who goes to the
and
library.
meet us later.
Derek, I'm
Valaryn.
pretty sure you would go to the library. Shut up.
Library.
I mean, you can go to the library. Do you?
Okay, serious business, guys. Seriously. You're not listening to me or taking me seriously. I have a magic item of possibly artifact level power, and I'm not sure what to do with it other than keep it safe for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can describe this in ways that you can understand. 1 second. Okay, so let's imagine that Fredrick was the most powerful puncher in the entire universe, right? You got that in your head?
Yep.
Okay, so imagine you could just bottle up Fredrick and put him in a little potion and drink him. It would cost a lot, right?
This is getting weird.
This is
Yep.
a weird metaphor.
So imagine you do that once a day for the rest of your life.
So when we bottle Frederick up, he doesn't actually go away.
No.
So this
right, he
magic
comes back
item
every
allows us
morning.
to drink our friends.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to explain this in the way I know how.
Is this like some vampire shit?
Sure.
You know those are the people we're fighting, right?
Yeah. You guys aren't getting me. Shit.
What's the dilemma here?
Look, I have access to, I'm not sure, but I think probably the most powerful spell that's ever been devised. Ever?
Okay.
And I can cast it once a day. I
So
bought it for 100 gold.
that seems shady.
Yeah. And
Somebody else
and,
sees
and and I'm pretty sure if I were to actually look for a scroll of just this spell that I could just use once, it'd probably be I don't know, 500,000 gold.
So,
Are you sure it's not cursed or simply defective?
because I mean, earlier, for instance, we were looking at potions of healing for a couple 100 golds.
I could raise you from the dead
For 100 golds.
once a day.
Calliope's gonna put her hand on Valaryn's shoulder and say, "Sweetie, I'm pretty sure somebody cheated you out 100 gold."
You fucking call me sweetie one more time. I'm gonna slap you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait a
Just settle
minute.
down.
Wait a minute. I have a question.
I'm saying this in a sing-song voice, cousin.
Calliope's eyes just narrow.
Is Korak raising his hand?
Valorant, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Does Frederick get hurt when we drink him?
Oh, sweetie. Calliope.
All I'm saying is, you don't buy shit like that for 100 gold.
Yeah, I know, which is why I bought it, because if it's the real thing, and little Winky McWinkerson is just a dumbass that sold it for 100 gold, we
I
don't
am the
want that
greatest
falling in
barter
the
of all
wrong
time.
hands.
Oh.
Listen, little Blinky has items that are not what they appear, and so I'm pretty sure you did not get what you think you did.
Calliope,
identified it. I
you have
cast
a
the
strong
spell.
urge to play your flute right now.
Yeah, I play while we
Look,
talk.
That's gonna be really annoying.
I cast a spell to see what this is, and by every she actually gets serious. She's been kind of cagey and young for a while, but she actually gets serious. And I did everything in my power to identify what this is, and it seems legit. If it is what it is, anyone could have walked in there and got it for 100 gold. I don't know what it does, and I'm kind of scared at what it can do. And if this would have fallen into Miravas's hands, it'd be fucked.
Then perhaps it should be destroyed.
Maybe. I don't know. But it deserves
I'm more
research,
curious
and
as
that's
to
what I'm
how
gonna be
this-
spending probably the next year on. So if you guys can just figure out what to do for a year, I'm going to be researching.
So you're gonna go to the library for a year?
Yeah.
right. Well, when you get tired of
We have
that,
a
come
quest
find us
that
at the
we're
Mellow
working on here,
Dandelion.
right?
So you guys are going to be there for a year?
Nope, until tomorrow maybe.
What?
At most.
Oh shit! I forgot you're going to die in like 20 or something. Okay.
Wait, what?
I forget that you only live like 20 years or
That
whatever.
that's okay. One, that's not how humans work, and two, I'm a half elf.
Are you?
Are you?
I'm going to have a drink. And Calliope goes to the Mellow Dandelion.
Barrick's going to look like genuinely shocked. I would never have known.
Look, I'm just. It is a serious magic item, and I'm going to do whatever research I can to take precautions.
Your ears. I guess I've never noticed.
Oh my god! I'm going to the library.
Going to the
Alright, so everyone's going to the bar except for Valaryn?
As a parting shot, she's going to say to Korak, "Drink, Fredrick. Drink him hard. Drink him long. He'll come back." She winks, and she walks away.
Just read the scroll. It's what all the cool kids are doing.
I'm gonna hit her with the wand of smiles as she walks away.
Oh, yes!
Oh!
Fuck. My charisma save is pretty awesome, so be careful. I have way more spells than you, honey.
Swifteye is gonna follow behind on
It's only a DC.
to Valaryn.
I'm definitely going to make it then.
It's only a DC 10 charisma check.
I have a 50% chance of making it then.
Roll it up, Valaryn.
Roll up.
You can make me roll it, right? No?
I don't have it set up as a.
Oh, shit.
You smiled for 1 minute.
The wrong side of the.
So, as you turn around to wink, you also really creepily smile. But Calliope is smiling back even bigger.
She glares.
While she smiles.
Yep. Her eyes glare. The smile doesn't make it past her nose.
So
Calliope waves.
Swifteye is staying with Valaryn.
Okay.
I don't know why everyone likes you, and she walks away.
And the rest of you going to the Mellow Dandelion?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the party's the party!
Split the party. Can't.
Split it
Oh, we're
up.
all gonna die.
Wait,
Yep.
is Calliope, is Swifteye coming to the library with me?
She is.
She was following you.
Yes! Let's get into
Yeah.
shenanigans!
I'm just not. I mean, I didn't say anything. I just started following your scent.
Cool. Let's see if I notice.
Listen, don't get carried away. I'm just following your scent.
Damn it. I never notice when Swifteye follows me.
No. Well, Swifteye, roll yep, stealth check. I got there. This is gonna be you. You're the rainbow.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh.
No, can I actually,
Rainbow
I was humming a little tune.
Yeah.
Like a little bum bum ba da ba ba with everything.
Yeah. You didn't notice her at first, but then you caught the sound, and then you saw her right away. All right. So the rainbow is going to the library, and the rest of you are going to the dandelion. So, as you enter the library, it's a very ancient building, and again, it's covered in vines. It has very tall columns outside, and as you enter its archway, it's a very quiet. It's very odd. As you enter, it's almost like the sound dissipates completely. The ceiling is probably 50 to 60 feet up, and the books almost reach the top as it lines almost every space you could possibly imagine. As you enter, there is a counter in front of you with a what looks to be a gnome sitting behind it. She's wearing a very muted color robe and has a pair of spectacles on.
What's it smell like?
It smells of the wilderness, like vines and grass, with a hint of just stale books.
I have to remember I had a list of things.
You did. As you look, the rest of the party goes
Here we
to
go.
the
Yep.
Mellow Dandelion, and Tomcat sees Calliope walk in and hollers from the back, "Ah, Calliope! When we be playing?"
As soon as you feed my friends and I some dinner and get my throat lubed up with the drink. With the drink.
That's
Yuck.
a weird way of putting it.
Yep, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I regretted it.
I can see why you do. Well, I mean, I told you part of the contract, and he kind of looks around, hoping no one hears him, but he's bellowing at the moment that you ate for free, but your friends gotta pay. Pick any seat you want.
What's this guy's name?
Tomcat.
Tomcat.
He's a giant cat.
This man right here, I should clap Fredrick on the shoulder, just beat the champion of pus, and I told that whole rink full of people to come here tonight and buy him a drink. You're about to have your doors knocked down by a crowd of people, so I'm pretty sure that you can swing dinner for my friends and I.
Make a persuasive check.
Persuasion.
Do you have like a class ability about this?
Oh, I have the like room and board thing.
The background ability.
Background.
Oh yeah, you beat his
by
his
popular
roll.
demand.
You know, this wasn't part of the contract.
Oh shit, Tomcat.
Well,
Sure.
I didn't know that Fredrick was gonna defeat the champion of pus, so things change. Listen,
Davros
If you-
was a bastard anyways. Fine, just drink. Just stop telling people. You're shouting about it. And he kind of points away to the corner. Just sit over there in the corner. No one will bother you.
Tomcat, you and I can talk over breakfast, and if you have any regrets, I'll be shocked, speechless, and that never happens.
Regrets. And he kind of pulls out his claws and kind of licks them slightly. And then goes about to, helping this shady character in front of him.
Who stares in front of the counter all evening?
Yep, seems to awkwardly be there. And people slowly start to meander in, but it seems very quiet the entire time. Like there's only 4 people in here the whole time.
Shit.
But yeah, no.
Not do what you thought you were gonna do.
It slowly starts to pick up. But oddly enough, it seems very open. Like no one's here.
Yeah. Huh.
It's a very big bar.
He's an asshole.
He scares people away. In the meantime, brings us back to the library. Swifteye, Valaryn, what are you doing?
Valaryn, upon noticing that Swifteye is, quote, following her, is going to, like, slow down to be at the same walking speed as Swifteye and say, like, I don't need, like, a babysitter. I know people don't, like, respect me or whatever in this group because I'm not, like, quote, one of you or whatever.
One of us.
Like, you don't have to come if you don't want to, or whatever. Oh shit! Is Claire asleep?
Claire, did you fall asleep?
No.
Oh. Man,
Jeez.
I was drinking some wine.
very a little wide.
This is my weekend.
Oh, crap! Well, I guess I can buy you a drink.
The gnome behind the counter goes, "Shh, it's a library."
We're talking here. God.
Oh my god! Shh, shh.
She gives him a gold coin.
I'm a woman.
She gives her a gold coin. You're so generous.
It is
Abe.
making so much noise, and she is glaring at you. Could you just take your money and shh? For a gnome, she's
Seriously.
really aggressive.
Seriously, you're what? How much are you paid in a week? Like maybe a gold? Take this platinum. It's fine.
I do this for fun. My name is Hugh, and if you need something, you just need to ask. Otherwise,
Swifteye's gonna walk up to Q very quietly. I'm gonna pull out my quarterstaff and use it as like a walking stick to kind of tap things around to see where they are.
God.
And I'm gonna I come to Q and I go, "Do you have any sight impaired reading materials?
Well, if you would just look at... If you would follow me,
Oh!
I would
Oh!
show you.
I'm gonna turn around and knock something over accidentally.
Oh my god, I meant like if I could... let me just... It's a library.
And then I'm gonna turn to Valaryn and wink.
Look,
We're like blink really
Nice.
heavily because
No,
I don't
got
think I
it.
know how to wink.
I gotcha. She puts a reassuring hand on your wrist and says, "You have been very, very rude to my disabled friend, and I'm pretty sure Chancellor Neurosis would not be happy to hear that her guests of the city, Neuroris. I don't think she would be happy to hear that her guests in this city so poorly or so judgmentally by...
Make an intimidation check.
Oh, I'm real good at everything charisma related. Everything. Oh, like intimidation is right next to investigation, which is really good. Oh my god.
Oh, she rolled so good.
So good! So
The
good!
Chancellor visits me often. We are quite good friends. She's
Cool.
not... I'm not as old as she is, but I don't think she'd care. I mean, I don't think she'd
No.
care. Just, whatever you need, just get it.
Are you
Quiet.
implying that she doesn't
Get
care
out.
about the handicaps of her citizens?
She does, but
And
it's a
friends?
it's a library. Just follow me, and she will grumpily lead you to the visually impaired section of her library.
You're so ableist.
It's Q. My name is Q. I don't know what an ableist is. Q. Just follow me. I'll show you your books.
Cool.
She's about 1.5 feet.
Well, back's turn. I really... Yep, that happens.
Oh, yeah, you do. What are you trying to do?
Whatever's in her pockets, man.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Let me... She doesn't know. I don't know what's in her pockets.
There's no
but my
way that
hand
she's going to
finds
beat
it.
that. All right. Yeah.
It's funny because I have no idea what I rolled.
You kind of, very quickly, knowing she's quite small. You kind of have to like stoop over really quickly, and you grasp just as much as you could, and you grab a couple of gold pieces, probably about 4 to 5, and there's a very old looking key that you grab.
Old fucking key. Love it.
And she does not notice whatsoever.
Cool.
Well, here are the books for individuals, and you can tell she's really trying, who are not able to see the words. You can just feel the pages, okay? Is there anything else you need?
They're called blind people. You don't have to be weird about it. God.
I don't even think that's the right word. But I'm going back to my desk. If you need anything, again, it's Q. I'll be over there.
You just really need to work on your customer relations.
And
Your
you just
charisma could
it's a library. And she just like stumps away. And there's this like you could tell she's trying to be loud, but it's just like this.
Sure.
As her feet slowly pedal onto the ground.
Valaryn holds up her hand for a high five, and after a second or two, she just like slaps it a couple times.
You hear this very distant shh from way off.
Come on. You can slap it too. It's fine.
Swifteye would turn the gesture.
Nice. In character.
Oh my god, just read your books! Back to the Dandelion.
Over dinner, Calliope's going to ask, all right, friends, is there any information we're trying to gather here?
In all seriousness, I do agree with Valaryn. There's something sketchy about those magic items at Blinky's shop. We should find out where they came from, or at least how she procured them.
All right. Well, I invited her to the show tonight. She didn't seem very interested, so I don't think she'll show up.
Perhaps there are other ways. Before we get too serious, first a toast to our champion, Fredrick. I'm going to hold up my mug.
Fredrick.
Here.
You are truly a master of your trade.
Thank you, my friends. It felt good to get back in the ring.
We should also discuss our plan. Quest is far from over. Time might not be on our side. We should decide which of the trails the Chancellor laid out to follow. Acquired 2 of the relics. Barrick's going to indicate the symbol on his chest and also nod to Korak. 4 remain. Then there's the matter of Mondor and the keep.
Oh, it's Munder, but it's fine. It's
Munder.
cool. Whatever. He's not here.
Listen, get back and start fixing the castle.
I'm sorry.
Water slides.
He just like hiccups out. He's dragging a pitchfork. It's cool.
So there's a relic north, like Porvy, right?
Mhm.
And there's one with the elves, and there's one on the other side of the rivers.
All right,
I assume
here.
that's a wizard the far to the west of Sisa. That single river far west. I assume it's past there.
Okay. And do we know where the 4th one is?
So you were
The
told
woods?
Not the first, fourth
far
one.
to the west, past the rivers,
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Yeah.
Somewhere near Ashvelin.
Right, the elves.
It's her sister.
One past that direction. I think there was 5. Why are you guys confusing me?
Don't we have,
Were there
aren't
5
there
total,
six?
and we have 2?
Didn't the prophecy say there were 6? And we have 2?
So we got the one from Gwen. We got the one
Or
from.
did the prophecy say 5?
So then we have one near Ashvelin. We know of one near far west past the rivers and to the near port. So we have 3 pending. And
Yeah,
we
that should
own
be correct.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be
Well,
5 altogether.
Which 2 do we have
5. Yeah, 5,
them
sorry.
from?
Gwen
Gwen and
Gwen and
Puss.
Tris, and we have the one from Puss.
Well,
Mhm.
Vandergar is really close to Puss.
Yeah, you
Just
you,
some
you
radiance.
actually have the one from. You have this one
The Resplendent Keep, you mean?
and that one.
I
There was none in Gwen.
Razzle Dazzle Castle.
Razzle Dazzle Castle.
All right. So, well, the only one we know for sure, kind of where it is the elf one, and we have a path to get there.
Do you guys trust the Chancellor? My memory's been kind of hazy the last few days.
I do trust her.
She has
Calliope
a
says with conviction.
she has a way about her. She can almost see into your soul. I trust her as well.
Well, that's good enough for me. I say we take the underground path.
Yeah, the elves are not what they seem. I think the element of surprise will be in our favor.
The Chancellor has a personal connection to the elves. Perhaps she can help us. But if the company votes the underground passageway, then that's where we shall head.
You do remember that she said it had been sealed, but she would open it,
Right.
and it has not been used in I believe she said about 300 years. But it would take you to where you need.
Well, why don't we enjoy tonight, celebrate our victories, and she'll raise her glass towards Fredrick. And then over breakfast, we can check in with Swifteye and Valaryn. It sounds like we'll head to the elves.
A splendid idea. I'm going to raise my glass as well.
Anything else we would want to know from the locals as they come celebrate with us tonight?
Yeah, they're starting to come in now as the evening starts to fade.
Korak, what is your plan for the keep?
Well, I think I would like to restore it at some point, but if I'm going to be out adventuring, I don't know when I would have a chance to do that.
water slide, water slide.
Perhaps we could hire some help from Mondor. Focus
That's
on
true.
rebuilding the keep first.
All right,
Then
I can
go from there.
I can spread the word and send people who are interested your way, and you can weed through them, do some job interviews.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Are you going to try to find them tonight, or just...
Yeah, so Calliope's plan is to, like, once people start pouring in or coming in, she's going to go warm up. And by warm up, I mean cast an earthly chorus, so she has advantage on her performance checks.
Nice.
And then she, at various times throughout the night, she's going to sing about Fredrick and his glorious victory. And then she's going to sing about, like, our adventures. And then she'll talk about how, like, we've got a castle we're restoring. And if you feel like you are skilled enough and awesome enough to contribute to our glory, you should go, talk to Korik at that table over there.
Nice.
That table over there.
Amazing. All right, roll your performance, and with Dane's singing along there, I will give you advantage.
Well, I have advantage anyway because of my unearthly chorus.
I'm gonna still say it's because of Dane.
Oh, okay.
I was just representing
hang
how she says it.
Yeah. Shabam.
This is a solid 27.
Solid 27.
Oh yeah, you're gonna. Okay, that was a good roll. So as the night progresses, Calliope kind of weaves around the tables as she begins to warm up before she truly, gives her set. The bar is starting to become packed. It's definitely bigger than the previous bar that you guys attended and played at. Much more variety in food and drinks and things like that. Excuse me. You notice there's a cover that's being charged. A lot of gold passing hands tonight. And Korak, individuals have been coming to you throughout the evening, either offering their services to either help repair or, offering names of individuals who, specialize in repairing keeps. And you've been kind of making notes throughout the evening of places that people you might want to speak to or even, see to before leaving Puss to kind of start out. And as the evening goes on, is there any songs that you've prepared?
Oh no, I didn't. I should have. But she'll definitely encourage. Like, she'll sing songs about Fredrick multiple times and encourage everyone to go buy the champion drinks as well as his personal trainer and his manager. She'll gesture towards Varric and Korak. And at some point, she will sing a lovely, lovely, sad song about whatever the hell Korak's brother's name is.
Boris.
Yep.
Man,
And his
that's the name of the song.
Love right there.
his valiant, sacrifice and all the evil he vanquished. And then towards the end of the night, kind of like her final number, she's going to sing a very, like, rowdy, almost like pirate shanty about harm. That's like a big old fuck you to the gods about how they can't keep him down. So it's going to be like a tribute to him and his sacrifice, but it's also like a big old fuck you gods. You've got nothing on us mortals, and like get the crowd really like riled up and encourage them to just like shout blasphemy at various deities.
Yeah, Varric, you don't want to admit that you enjoy the tune, but the words themselves are very turned offish. All right, Fredrick, are you drinking what they're bringing?
I'm gonna get crunk.
Totally.
It's gonna get crunk.
All right, I need you to make a Constitution save.
I just had an awesome idea. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We should hire a bunch of people, and then Fredrick can train them as soldiers, and then we can rent them out to like towns and call them the Vanguard.
Wow.
So as you're saying this, Frederick's eyes have become very heavy.
Yeah, Varric's kind of drunk too.
And about his 6th or 7th or 10th alcohol beverage of this point. He doesn't have a clue. Fredrick just, his head slams on the table. His mug falls to the side and he is snoring loudly. But there's a smile on his face.
Eric, if you still have 5 points of your lay on hands, you might be able to cure that poison. I'm just saying.
A champion can't even hold his liquor. I'm going to swig back a couple more as well.
Yep, make a Constitution save. Are you guys all drinking? I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine.
If this is evil undead liquor, I'm resistant to it.
Marcus actually just walked into the bar. Everyone make a perception check.
All right, let's see here. Constitution save.
Yep.
Bam.
Nice.
Give me another one.
Yep. He's still going strong. So as the evening starts to come to a phase, Swifteye and Valaryn, and by this point, Swifteye is kind of looking at you, Valaryn, going, "It's 1 o'clock. Still 1 o'clock." Is there anything that you're investigating as Swifteye is trying not to be admitting how late it is?
I've been investigating the wish spell first and foremost. I want to learn as much as I can about the spell that she's probably only heard like rumors about.
Roll. I'll let you choose, but I'm thinking like a history check.
Sure. I'm good at that one.
Oh, good thing you are. Through your readings in the evening, even over Swifteye kind of jabbing at Q and making loud noises, you slowly realize that Wish is a very powerful spell. Typically only learned by very high-level spellcasters. As you're slowly reading over things, you realize that there's limitations, but not really. It can do a lot of things, and as
Just wish them away.
You kind of start to think about things you could try or things you could attempt. Nothing seems to be outside of the grasp, though you can tell because it's so advanced, it might fail on occasion as you try to use it.
Sure.
But other than that, there's a lot that it could do for you.
So, I guess my question as far as researching that, the way Andy's seeing the is like you can cast a spell of level 1 through or cantrip through level 8, basically without anything weird happening.
Yep.
But if you try to do any of those extra stuff, when you have to like roll %, that you might lose the spell or something weird happens, right? Is that kind of basically what she's trying to figure out is how it works.
Yeah, and as you're investigating, as you kind of get to know, make an Arcana check on the actual scroll itself again.
Sure. Whip it out.
Just whip out that scroll. Okay.
I'm gonna just whip this out.
As you whip out the scroll, and you kind of read over some magical tombs, some quite old. You realize the writing itself, in its hurriedness, seems to be just slightly off, but it seems to be correct. It definitely seems to be the right spell, but the handwriting is kind of scribbled, and you're not entirely sure if it was a genius that made this scroll or just a madman, because of the writing is just so angular, and there's notes in the margins, and just kind of notes all over it.
Interesting. Yep, that's my first thing I'm researching.
I will say you could research probably 3 things in the time, assuming that you were staying up quite late.
What's Swifteye working on while I'm doing this?
Swifteye has been reading a book of folklore.
Ooh, what's it about? Is it about pus in general?
Yeah, just a little history on pus, but in the blind.
Make a history check in the blind.
I'm gonna read some history.
History.
Oh, it's right there.
Libraries are sexy, guys.
It's a sexy role. It was established long ago. It seems to be like a sanctuary for the elves. It was named after the birthplace of Sindarin of the elves, which as you're reading, you're slowly discovering that Sindarin definitely is a real place. Though there seems to be no notation of where it even may have originated or been, you can tell it was definitely near or around the sea. But over the generations of hundreds of years, the actual location itself has been lost as the elves themselves have slowly migrated away, which is where the Port Union of Sindarin actually was founded by wandering elves who needed to find a home. The Chancellor has been ruling over the city for the last 500 years, seeming to have ruled ever since the fall of Gwen Spit. And that seems to be what you've read in your readings of folklore on the city. I will say you get one more question.
Me?
Either one of you.
I think I'm good.
Oh man, I'm torn. Because I really want to get into shenanigans with Swifteye.
Shenanigans.
Yep. No, I'm gonna look up. I have like 10 things I want to research. How about I'm going to look up information on the phrase "touched by the goddess of the moon," which stuck out to Valaryn.
All right, we'll make it a religion check.
I got it all. I don't have that one.
This could be the one. I guess no. Fredrick rolled a 20.
Oh, it was a 19, but it was outside the box.
You know, everyone can roll a 19 outside the box.
I'm doing it again. Oh, I did it outside the boxing, and that was only a 6. Come on, focus, Andy.
Out of the box.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say between the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
Swifteye, you notice and start to just kind of pry at this point because you realize Valaryn is not going to stop. And at this point, it's about 1:30. It's getting closer to 2, and you're like, whatever we can do, so I can go to sleep. And you start to research, and you find a very old tomb, one that Swifteye you can read, and you start kind of reading it to Valaryn, and it discusses about the wife of the supreme gods of the elves, one that the Chancellor spoke of itself, and she was known as Sahedi Moonbow. That's what I get for rubbing my eyes as I'm trying to read. She's the elven goddess of the moon, and she was basically the Lady of Dreams and opposed the Spider Queen of the elves themselves. And the weapon that she would hold in power was a staff with a moon on the end, and her symbol, of course, was the crescent moon itself. But what kind of struck out at you was the fact that throughout your readings, this goddess would touch certain members of the elven bloodline and would choose champions to help protect the actual race of the moon elves. And it seems to almost ring as a folklore, but there's hints of truth. And every several centuries or so, another champion was chosen, or champions were chosen to protect what the goddess hold near. And that's kind of all you can make out throughout this text. The tomb itself has been read several times to where you would actually read and feel the words have been kind of felt down over the centuries, and it's rather difficult to read, but that's what you make out.
Makes sense if this is an elvish town, mostly.
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 Well, that sounds like fake news.
Fake news. So back at the bar. So the evening was winding down. Fredrick is completely passed out. Barrick
Boys out.
and Korak, make a Constitution save.
Yeah.
Nice.
Damn. Korak can hold his liquor.
Livers of
He's a
steel.
fighter.
Oh,
Mm.
Barrick is starting to slide a little bit to the left and the right. Every now and again, you kind of bump into Fredrick and you hear this loud. But he's still just snoozing away. Korak though seems really attentive, and you've been taking your studious notes as you're talking to people about your castle, and almost with this new energy of what you can do and build. And there's talk of teleportation places that you can teleport to towns.
Fast
There's
travel.
talk of ballistas that you can make. There's even talk of a water slide, and you just keep taking notes throughout the evening.
Underlined water slide 3 times.
It's almost circled to the point that it's kind of the tomb that you're writing in is kind of ripping apart because you just keep circling water slide over and over again. And the evening kind of comes to a close. You kind of collect up your friends, Barrick, Korak. You kind of lift up Fredrick and kind of carry him to the room. Calliope, you essentially close down the bar.
Yeah, my last song is about how Calliope and her radiant company defeated the great evil dragon, and I'm going to use minor illusion to like do cool sound effects and make it really creepy.
Nice. You know what? Make a performance check with your advantage. Yep.
Oh, she's tired. It was less awesome.
It's
been a
still pretty
long night.
awesome. The patrons
Yeah.
are pretty drunk at this point.
That's true.
They look a little frightened. There's a couple of big
Yes.
brutes in the front that look kind of like they start looking over their shoulder, and as they start kind of looking around and kind of packing up their stuff, they're kind of wiping off drool from their face. They start like tossing coins in front of you. Oh, I didn't mean to roll both of those. Well, let's add them together. There's about 15 silver pieces in front of you, and I'm sorry, 150 silver pieces and 16 gold pieces that they kind of threw at the end, thanks to your nice song. So go ahead and add
Yeah.
those in.
Yeah, thanks.
Valaryn, Swifteye, Q walks up very impatiently, rubbing her temples, and goes, "Ladies, it is 3 in the morning. I have been asleep at my counter for I don't know how long. Are you just staying here the rest of the night?"
Do you need us to go? I mean, can we stay here?
I just need to know, so I
Are
know
you
if
passive
people are
aggressively telling
here.
us to leave?
I mean, I don't want to say you have to go home, but you just can't stay here any longer. So if you could just go, that would be really good.
Oh, sure, then I'm definitely leaving. For sure, 100% I'm going to leave.
And I mean, to top it off, I can't find my damn key to the
Oh, that
restricted
sucks.
section. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I just want to go to bed.
Oh, shit. Do you want help looking for it?
No, I just want you all to leave. I mean, shh. It's still a library. It's 3 o'clock. You, it's okay.
Swifteye is gonna. I shall help you find it, and I'm gonna pull out my stick and start walking in
Oh,
the direction,
my God. Just go.
clicking my
Oh
quarterstaff
my God.
around.
No,
Rubbing,
we'll
she's
leave,
rubbing
we'll
her
leave.
forehead. She's
It's
like,
about time we should sleep anyways.
that would be great if you could just. I mean, if you never come back, that would just be great. But it's a library. It's welcome to everyone. It's 3 o'clock. Have a wonderful evening. And as you leave,
I'm not leaving. Fuck that. I have 3 second level spell slots. And so I got a lot of invisibility I can hear.
Okay, I guess I'll just go sleep at the counter. It's
No,
fine.
no. I mean, I'll quote leave.
Why are you putting your hands in the air to make these weird motions? I'm going back to my desk. I'll see you all in the morning. And she just stumbles off.
Now Valaryn leaves, but she waits until what's her name Q leaves, and she's totally going back in. I don't care if I need exhaustion levels for this, Abe. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Go into the restricted section.
Yes, I am. In fact, as soon as they're outside, she's going to put her hands on Swifteye's shoulders, and she says, "You know we have to find that restricted section, right? You know what this means, right? We have to find it."
Of what value are books that are, locked up?
She was like, "Yes, that's exactly why I want to do this."
Shenanigans.
Amazing. So are you guys attempting to
That's
go
all
back
I had
in?
for this session. Shenanigans with Swifteye.
Nice.
That's true. He talked about it earlier today. He said that he would have shenanigans with Calliope, but she was like lame lately in a
She's gotten a little stick up her butt lately.
yeah, he said she was too stuck up and lame lately and she was no fun, so he would have fun with
Ouch.
Swifteye. Yeah.
Awesome.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. So as you make your way back in, are you casting invisibility on yourself? Or are you just trying to stealth in?
What I'll do is I will cast Fog Cloud over the front door. First level spell spent.
Stealth! Oh,
I mean, you're in fog though, so maybe you have advantage or something.
I will say you have advantage.
stealth!
Swifteye is just clanking her staff, going stealth. And Q, you can hear her just grumbling.
Wait, you know what I think the problem is? I have to switch my boots.
Yeah,
And she will say that, oh yes, my boots. And in the middle of the fog cloud, I'm going to switch to the boots of Elvenkind.
Valaryn's just like, be cool, Swifteye.
So Swifteye, you're a little loud about your boots, and you can hear Q just like tapping her hands from the inside, and she's a good like 20 feet away, but you can tell she's so irritated. But as soon as you slip the boots on, you're still rather loud, but your feet make no sound whatsoever. And Valaryn, you immediately stop making all sorts of noise, and you, I'm assuming, lead her into the library.
Yep.
All right.
Is Q still in there, or is she gone for the day?
Oh, you're so stealthed. She is fuming with anger. You can actually hear her. She's got her hand holding her head, and she's just these two women coming in at the end of the day. We're clearly about to close, and they stay for 8 hours. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, and you just clearly sneak past her. She is completely oblivious of everything you're doing. I'm going to come back to you because as the day comes back up, we're going to come back to your shenanigans in a moment. Calliope, Tomcat finds you in the morning.
Oh, before she goes to bed, she will go up to the bar and she'll say, Tomcat, pour me a drink and tell me I'm welcome back in your bar anytime I'm in town. And she'll wink at him.
Nice. Well, and he looks at you really sternly. He's kind of wrapping his paw on the counter, and he puts out a giant mitt to shake your hand.
Yeah, shake it.
Well, to be honest, I was originally going to say, we talked about renegotiation. But quite frankly, he looks over and there's this like chest that's locked. There's chains around it, and he kind of looks down on it, and he goes, "I was gonna say 15%, but I was doing the numbers, and you played really damn good. I'm gonna get killed. My wife is gonna kill me. 20%. I'll pay you 20% from now on, and your friends and you can drink and eat all you want. How does that sound?"
Sounds like a deal. We'll be back.
Don't
Man,
tell
we're
my
getting
wife.
breakfast when we get back to the library.
I mean,
Well,
Valaryn is going to keep you up irresponsibly late.
yeah, the two of
If
you
you
are
let- if you
definitely
go
going to
with this.
have some exhaustion levels.
Yep.
So Tomcat has already drawn up a new contract that says anytime that you're in town, you are to see him and announce, and he will pay you 20%. Anyone in your company can eat, sleep, and drink for free.
Yeah.
Because you rolled really fucking good.
You damn straight.
Yeah.
And let me go to that there. It's rather detailed, but just skip to the end.
Okay.
I mean, no, skip to the end, but you get my point.
Right. Yeah.
So that should cover everything you made that evening. And he hands that to you. So in the morning, Fredrick and Barrick let's make a Constitution save.
Gotta drink some raw eggs, fellas. Shit.
He drank a lot. The two of you, it was a good night to celebrate, and you're very proud of your friend. And Fredrick, you're so proud of yourself, but your head is pounding. You're not entirely sure if you slept at all. You definitely don't remember anything past a water slide, and you were out. Barrick, you definitely remember finding Fredrick to his room, but you don't remember exactly where you slept. And judging by the kink in your neck, you definitely slept against maybe a wall or a chair, but you didn't sleep in a bed whatsoever. Definitely in your armor, there's a nice kink as Fredrick. You kind of look at Barrick and you kind of chuckle to yourself because there's a nice like kink in his neck where the armor had kind of rubbed against while he was sleeping. Fredrick, you kind of laugh at Fredrick because there's definitely some kind of liquid that may be down the front of his chest. Odd fluid colors, some that you've never seen before. And the two of you for the next 8 hours have disadvantage on saves.
Oh, shit.
Because you got really fucking drunk. Korak, though, he looks pristine. Like, his hair is pulled back. He is ready for the day. He's got a full list of people he wants to see.
Korak's just whistling. He's sketching out elaborate plans of list day and catapults and water slides and a water mill. You just ride right back up to the top.
Barrick's going to look at Fredrick and just say, let's not speak of this. And then he's going to slowly get up.
Not even going to say anything.
Amazing. I am going to... You know what? What the hell? Let's play it out. All right, so you guys stealthed into the library. You made it past. You're sneaking along the hallways. What exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking for a locked door.
Okay.
I'm looking for. Look, man, I got 3 second level spell slots to cast. If I need to, I'm looking for that hidden section where maybe I might find answers.
Awesome. All right. Go ahead and
if I happen to see like a book that I think Fredrick or Barrick or Korak would like, he probably she would steal that.
All right. The two of you make a perception check.
Sure.
Oof.
Thank God for that plus there.
I almost beat you.
So, Swifteye, you're kind of walking around the shelves, kind of reaching your hand out, feeling things as you go past. Valaryn, you're looking, and you're at this point, you've realized that the most information you've found are in the oldest books.
Mm-hmm.
So as you continue to go through, Swifteye, your hand kind of stops on a book, and you kind of show it to Valaryn. Valaryn kind of just shakes her head. You put it back, but you didn't put it back in any kind of order whatsoever. And you both kind of laugh to each other because Q is going to be pissed in the morning when she finds all these books. Valaryn, you see a couple more that kind of interest you, but not enough to stop. Swifteye, you kind of hold up another book. Valaryn shakes her head and goes, wait. What was that one called? And you kind of look at it again, and it's a book called So You Own a Castle for Dummies. And as you just quickly peruse through it, it definitely seems to be about, how to pay your workers and wages and things like that. So you, if you want, you could pocket that.
Yeah, she flips through it, but isn't super interested in it. But she just nonchalantly puts it into a bag on her back.
So as you're walking through,
Swifteye, it seems like it would seem to you like this is no big deal to Valaryn that she has just put something that is not hers backpack.
Sensing a pattern here.
Yep.
I didn't see
And then
anything.
Swifteye walks down the row of books.
She isn't
pulls
trying to
out
hide it
more.
from Swifteye at all. It seems like, this is what you do with books.
Swifteye, as your hands come across, the rest of the books, you're just kind of slowly feeling for rough edges and things like that, or anything you can feel with your hands. There's a book that slightly moves. Make a perception check with advantage.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you
Oh, what is this?
go. So it pulls out ever so slightly, but it doesn't come out. Make a dexterity save.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. What? Zick.
Ah!
Oh my god.
Valaryn, make a
Getting
dexterity
worse.
save.
Sure. I'm okay with those.
I'm just so tired.
Oh my god.
Yes, the two of you are just so tired. So, I need to. Oh, good thing she's still seething. So as you go to pull this book, you kind of feel it move. It tips slightly, and then there's this immediate, whoosh, and the door. There's the bookshelf actually swings forward, smacking the two of you in your face.
Ugh.
Valaryn, you kind of catch yourself.
Sure.
Your temple hurts a little bit. You end up taking 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Swifteye, you get knocked prone completely, kind of skidding on your ass for a couple feet. You take about 3 points of bludgeoning damage. But Valaryn, you now see there is a bookshelf that completely swung open, and behind it is an iron doorway with a lock.
Cool. She is going to try the old.
Make a strength check.
Strength check. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, why is that not in the box? It was a
What's in the
12.
box?
So the key slides into the lock.
Yep.
There's a slight,
Mm-hmm.
and you try to turn it. Wow, she's rolling shitty. You try to turn it, and
She's still here.
it doesn't want to move. It definitely feels right, but just maybe not enough elbow grease.
That's what she said.
Got it.
She's going to. Swifteye, do you mind giving this a try? And she kind of wraps her knuckles on the key a couple times.
Swifteye will lean down and try to coerce it.
Make your strength.
Come on, Claire. Shenanigans.
Better rolls. Hey.
Yes.
Shenanigans.
There you go.
That's
So
it.
you put your hand on the
Second
lock.
wind!
You slightly turn it, and you can tell it's about to click. And you look at Valaryn and you wink, and then with a quick little flip, it unlocks and it slowly swings inward. It's a very dark passageway. Seems to be some sconces on the walls, and as the door kind of clicks against the side, it makes an audible like clong, 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 clong. But the torches immediately light up. So as the torches kind of light up down the hallway, there is hundreds of books down this corridor, all lining the shelves for a good 60 feet. All sorts of shapes and sizes. Even some newer looking ones, some older looking ones, but tons of books. Seems to be a
What's it
dead end
smell
nonetheless.
like in here?
It's stale, as if the bookshelf itself kind of closed off the air supply to the actual area. And the books themselves, especially the older ones, have a very musty smell. Some smell of sulfur. Others are very reminiscent of how Barrick smells, especially as he's like radiating a presence about him. Very angelic in nature.
Can I check for sensors or traps?
You can. How are you checking?
Mm-hmm. Oh, guess I should feel for them.
Feel everything. Roll it up.
So I'm like, I guess you can't really smell or hear. I'd also like to hear. Should I roll a separate perception check for that?
No, I'll let that go. So as you're feeling, you can keep that plus 16, so you rolled a 30. You're feeling around kind of the door itself, trying not to make it slam or anything else, but you don't seem to feel any traps at this point, and you imagine that if there was one, you would have definitely set it off as you're kind of quickly trying to like grasp around and feel. As you're searching, you hear some snoring coming from the front. That when it clanged, the snoring kind of stopped for a moment, and as you kind of stopped and listened more, it started back up again, but not as deep, not as restful.
I need Swifteye on all my shenanigans.
Nat 20 strength.
I'm going to turn back to Valaryn and just hold my finger up and go shh.
Valaryn is just like gaping at Swifteye, and she just mouths like, "You are amazing."
Do I hear that, or do I just ignore that because I can't see her lips?
She breathes that out. She breathes.
Okay.
She breathes the words. So you probably hear breathy words, but yeah, I'm gonna investigate the crap out of this shit. I can investigate as a bonus action, so I'm just gonna spend all my bonus actions.
All right.
Investigating.
Roll it up.
Took a feat for this crap. I'm just she's just flipping through books like she's done this for her job.
Awesome. So you are, very quickly trying to just skim through as many books as possible, looking for names and places and anything you can possibly imagine, might be a reason they would lock these up or try to forget they've even been here. As you're going through, one catches your eyes, and it seems to be a tome of sorts. It's hand bound, and as you pull it out and kind of flip through it quickly, you realize it's an account of the building of the actual secret tunnel that the dwarves kind of kept their ledger in when they were working for the Chancellor herself. It seems to depict different passageways and some things within, and how they actually built part of the tomb. It's part of the tunnel itself. As you as you continue to check, you also come across a very ancient-looking book itself about the goddess Moonbow herself, and it tells about the champions and the actual choosing process. And with that, you hear
In the
Swifteye
bag.
would hear this. You hear footsteps approaching rather quickly.
Someone's coming, and I'm going to attempt to hide somewhere.
Hell yeah.
Valaryn, you do know that this is a dead end, about 60 feet long, is very well lit, and
Mhm.
it is lined with books.
Sweet. How deep in am I?
You probably made it about, let's say 20 feet.
Perfect.
What? Is there a ceiling?
There is. It's probably about 10 foot high, but the books literally line the ceiling all the way to the top.
She's going to put her hand on Swifteye's shoulder and say, "Run quietly." And I'm going to cast Misty Step and teleport to the door of this room and cast invisibility and book it.
Oof. Wow.
The two of you roll stealth checks.
Sure.
Um,
Oh no.
I mean, I have my boots. Can I roll again?
yeah, you have advantage. You're wearing your boots.
I got my boots.
Sorry, I have to let me mark off my spells because I did second level.
Amazing. Okay. You're hearing this pitter patter of feet as Valaryn's quickly talking to you and disappears from view, which you can't see. She puffs out of existence. You can no longer smell her scent, and then it's quickly dissipated from down the hallway. And you take her advice and you bolt out of the room. Are you doing anything else as you leave?
Is she clearly not sneaking very well?
Her feet seem to make no noise, but as she's trying to run, she has to kind of touch the wall to figure out where she is. So she's definitely making an audible sound, and the footsteps are definitely approaching quicker.
Yeah. Having spent, oh boy, I think I might actually cast invisibility myself because I think I'm better at sneaking than her in general. Like I think my bonus is better than hers.
So you're casting on her?
Yeah, but that's my
Okay.
concentration, so I can only do it to one person.
All right. So instead of casting it on you as you appeared, you're casting it on her.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So you both make it through the entrance. Swifteye immediately disappears from view. Valaryn, you're still pretty well, quiet. You feel pretty good about the fact that you don't believe you're making any noise. The door to the actual restriction section is open. The key is still in the lock, and the door, the bookshelf itself is still open. What are you doing?
Uh,
How far away are the feet?
By this point, they are probably less than 10 foot. Valaryn, you know it's pretty ill lit. But, she is a gnome and she's moving quite quickly.
Sure. I would like to cast. Yep, I would like to cast. Looking through my spells, that's the one. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion to create a sound behind the approaching gnome of a front door slamming. So basically of like the front door opening and slamming.
You hear this. Shit! What else is going on in the night? I can't deal with that right now. I heard the door slam over here first. And she is still coming.
Okay.
She rolled really well.
Sure. I probably don't have time to get the key and get out of here, huh?
No. Judging by her voice, and Swifteye, you can definitely tell now just how close that voice sounds. She is probably about to turn the corner on you guys.
No, that's cool. Now I know where this place is. I don't need a key. I'm out.
Swift
I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna leave the key, leave the door open, and I'm out.
All right. Swifteye?
Swifteye is going to. Do I know that I'm invisible?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, he didn't say anything, so you don't know you're invisible. And it's not necessarily a sensation that you would feel.
I'm gonna do acrobatics and roll. What is on the other side of the door?
Shenanigans.
So across, you guys were kind of walking down a long corridor of books. It was kind of a maze, if you will, but in that corridor, it opened immediately to the left. So right across from the restricted section is a wall of books. When you turn right, that's the way to the entrance, and there's a couple different passageways you can take. There seems to be a very direct path that Valaryn, you would notice. You don't see the elf. I'm sorry, the gnome. So she wasn't coming from that direction. So you may have a clear shot to go that way.
You know what?
Oh shoot! Does the gnome go inside the vault?
What do you mean?
Does the gnome actually go inside, like where the restricted section was?
She hasn't yet. You guys are standing right in front of it.
Okay.
How far away is she?
She is. Let's see, she was. Judging by the voice, she's about to turn the corner. You guys could probably run, and she may see you, she may not at this point. But if you do nothing, she's going to be there in a second.
And within the restricted sections, there's bookshelves all the way up to the ceiling.
Yes. There's no clear way of hiding. Valaryn would have mentioned it.
Yep.
Swifteye is going to just parkour all the way up the bookshelves to the ceiling.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Make an athletics check.
Athletics?
Or
Why is my athletics -4?
That can't be right, because it's based on your strength. We're gonna give that with your. Oh, that would have been acrobatics, so it's really a +4. So yeah, you very quickly cut. So you're trying to like.
Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, that's better.
Acrobatics?
So you're kind of climbing up the bookshelves to be at the top.
Yeah.
All right, so you very quickly.
Then I want to be like stretched, hands and feet across the hallway.
Nice. So you right up to the top. Valaryn sadly cannot see how amazing it looked,
No,
but
it's
you are
amazing.
now
No.
Spider-Manning across the books itself. Valaryn, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna rely on my try to get myself out of here. The gnome's gonna be occupied with an open door into the vault, so she's just going to focus on moving silently and not care so much about whether she's seen, because like the gnome's already past her.
Gotcha.
So she's just going to be basically moving silently towards the front.
All right. So Swifteye, you can pick up the scent of the gnome now. Q is muttering under her breath, and you hear her come around the corner, and she starts cursing in gnomish. And then you hear her say something like, "Oh, where's the key? Oh, they're gonna fire me. I don't know what happened." And then she can see the key in the door. She quickly looks over both of her shoulders. She looks down the thing. She looks into the room, pulls the key out, slams the door, slams the bookcase, and then runs back the other way, trying to find the noise that came from the other way. So she is currently running your way, Valaryn.
Sure.
Yeah. So Swifteye, you hear the gnome scurry away. Are you going to try to crawl at the top of the books?
What do I sense up at the top?
The air is very stale. The books, the air, everything seems to have not moved in quite some ages. You definitely feel as if maybe some spiders are living up here. Nothing that creeps you out too much, but you're definitely covered in cobwebs.
And can I sense, like, can I smell Valaryn and tell where she direction?
Yes, her scent is fading. She definitely seems to, when she said run, she is running towards the exit.
Can I get the bookshelves go like built-ins all the way to the ceiling, or is there like a top of the bookshelf?
There's about a 10-foot. There's a slight gap at the top. If you were to climb up, you notice that it's enough to kind of stand up on.
I would like to get there
Nice.
and then attempt to follow.
So you climb to the top of the bookshelf, and then you are gonna run at the top of it.
Yep, I'm gonna run and then jump if I need to.
Nice. Make a dexterity save.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh man.
So you're running and you're feeling really good about this. You didn't account for the fact that you could get on top of these things, and you've made a pretty good distance. You can smell Valaryn. You know she's close by. Your right foot as you're running kind of loses grip, and you realize in an instant there was a gap and you needed to jump. So you try to push off and you slam yourself into a wall, a bookshelf, who knows what at this point. You make a loud banging noise as you fall to the ground.
Still invisible.
Still invisible, but you have no idea. Taking 6 points of bludgeoning damage on the way down. Landing
How many
slightly prone.
points?
6. Slightly prone, knowing just from the smell of the outside that you're fairly close. It very well could have been the front desk you slammed into, but you can hear the gnome rather far away by this point, swearing about noises in her library, and people just need to be damn quiet. Yeah, you're relatively close to the exit.
I'll just sprint for it.
Awesome. Valaryn, by this point, you have made it outside. Swifteye coming outside in the gentle breeze of. By this point, you realize it is really early.
I'm gonna drop
You're-
another fog cloud right in front of the door.
Nice. Your escapades have kind of lasted long into the evening, and it's probably about 4 o'clock. You're too tired now to even tell exactly what time it is, but you know the sun is going to be coming up soon. And you kind of stop panting outside. Valaryn, you kind of sense her breathing beside you. You are both outside of the library in a small fog cloud.
As they're moving away, Valorant's going to say, "That was awesome. Let's go read some books."
I'm just gonna be like,
Seriously, you're amazing. We should go do things like this like all the time.
Swifteye is gonna just start to meditate in an attempt to get her breathing back.
Look at all the books I got that we can now read. I got a book on owning a castle, and a book on secret tunnels, and a book on some elf god.
Secret tunnel. Sorry.
By this point, Swifteye is just almost delirious with exhaustion. She's trying to meditate, but you just hear her humming about secret tunnels, as you guys slowly make your way back to Tomcat's Inn, to where he kind of wakes up at the bar and he kind of rubs his eyes, and seeing who you are, he kind of gestures you inside and says, he hands you 2 keys and
Cool.
and lets you go to your room.
I'm going to leave the So You Own a Castle book in Korak's room, and the Secret Tunnel book in Barrack's room.
Korak, you definitely noticed the book this morning, along with your portfolio that you've been writing into. You find the So You Own a Castle. Curious that you don't remember owning this before, but nonetheless, you've been very excited about the prospects of your castle itself. Barrick, you're gonna roll a. perception with disadvantage? And where did where did you put the book?
Right next to his face.
Yep. So, Barrick, what
Found
you've
it.
slowly uncovered that you apparently fell asleep on top of, and why you have a really bad kink in your neck, is a book that you do not remember seeing before. It's very old. It's a handwritten tomb itself. You gave him the Book of the Tunneling, right?
Secret tunnels.
And it seems to be written partially in Dwarvish, partly in Common, but it all seems to mention about a secret tunnel that was elected from the Chancellor herself to take her to visit her sister in Ash Velen. And with that, I think that is a good place to stop for the night.
Nice.
Good.
Shenanigans.
Stayed
Fucking
awake.
restricted section.
Just tripping over my own feet. It's cool.
All good.
So is it the Resplendent Keep? Is that what we're doing?
I haven't heard Chris waving yet.
Yeah, I like the Resplendent Keep.
Yes. Not the Fortress of Effulgence.
No. The,
Razzle Dazzle Castle would be.
Phosphorescent Bolt.
yeah, the Phosphorescent Fort is my favorite silly name.
Razzle Dazzle Castle.
Razzle Dazzle Castle.
That's
There's a nice ring to it.
Wow.
All right, guys. Later
That's
on.
what we'll pick up.
Good night.
Like,